Welcome to another presentation from Cowdray Hall's virtual wellbeing program. My name's Kim Lovelace, and I'm going to encourage you not just to listen to me talking about, but actually participating in a short Qigong class. Qigong is the art, the practice of cultivating our Qi, knowing what our Qi is up to. And, well, let's arrive. We're going to practice a little bit of standing still. If you've seen the previous presentation I gave, the emphasis was very much on learning how to stand still. But the theme of today's practice is asking for and receiving help. I was brought up in a culture that basically said if I didn't feel I was coping, there was something wrong with me. I have always found it really difficult to ask for help. And one of the joys I discovered in Qigong was that help was always there. Help from the earth beneath our feet that gives us stability, confidence, maybe even courage, and help from the sky above our heads that helps keep our body light, extended and open. You'll often hear the expression between earth and sky in Qigong classes because we manifest that combination of those two energies, the need for stability and the need for lightness. So, if you're able to stand up, stand up. Find a comfortable place to put your feet on the earth. It can be outside, grass, paving slabs. You don't have to be barefoot, but I would encourage you to be barefoot. If your balance is not good, have a chair in front of you that you can just let your hands rest on top. It'll give you that little bit more confidence. If the muscles in your legs do not feel strong enough to allow you to stand, use the chair to sit on. The sitting bones in our bottoms are ischial tuberosities. The feet of our bottoms can still connect us to the earth even if our legs don't feel able to do so. So place your feet under your shoulders. If your feet are happy to go parallel, put them in a parallel stance as if you were on skis or rollerblades. Might have to imagine that a little bit. Knees are soft, soft side of locked. So they're not bent, so you're not losing height. They're not locked backwards. Arms just hanging off the tips of your shoulders. That's good. And if you can find a head underneath all the fluffiness, at the crown of the head, just imagine that you're hanging from a golden thread, a puppet string that draws you upwards, uncurls the spine, lengthens the spine. In your mind, the spine is just hanging straight, a string of chunky bones just hanging from the base of the skull, loose, and have a wriggle. There are no quotas or rationings to how often you can wriggle. If tension builds up somewhere, wriggle, hunch the shoulders, let them drop, roll them, wiggle your hips, tuck your chin in, let your head extend. So many people are spending more time sitting in chairs in front of keyboards and screens at the moment that the muscles in the back of the neck tend to pull and close the back of the neck and make you look snooty, make you look down your nose at the world. So tuck the chin in, let that puppet string draw your head up. So regal, posh, yes. Snooty, no. 5-6 pounds of arm just hanging off the tip of each shoulder. And from that lovely soft position, the puppet string coming down from the sky, keeping your body light, taking the workload off your shoulders, the weight off your hips and your knees, soles of your feet firmly stuck to the ground. Really feel how you touch the earth, how you receive support from the earth without even asking for it. It's there. Let your heels sink into the earth. Let the balls of your toes sink into the earth. Push your knees ever so gently and carefully outwards so that that line of tough skin from the little toe down to the heel touches the ground you're standing on. If you push too hard, the ball of the big toe lifts off the earth. You don't want to break your roots, so it's a very gentle stance. And with all that attention on your feet, you will have been pulled downwards. So go back up to the crown of the head and let that puppet string draw you back up. That's lovely. Now, we're in simple standing WuQi position, receiving earth support through the soles of our feet, receiving sky support through that puppet string coming down to the crown of the head. From this position, we can recharge. Notice those sensations that tell you you're breathing. Feel air going in and out of your nose. If your nose is bunged up, in and out of your mouth. Hitting the back of your throat, dropping down the windpipe. Maybe you can't feel that, maybe you can. Clothes getting a little tighter as you breathe in, a little looser as you breathe out. Waistband of your trousers getting tighter as you breathe in, looser as you breathe out. That's it. Now, a little bit of imagery. Focus on the movement of the belly as you breathe in and out. If the chest wants to move, let it. But feel the belly filling up as you breathe in, emptying as you breathe out. Each breath in, recharging, refueling, drawing in energy, oxygen. Each breath out as you empty the belly, breathing out waste, breathing out carbon dioxide, breathing out anything you no longer need. Simply breathing out to create space for the next breath in. Lazy breathing. We're not running for a bus or rushing to an appointment. And if you can, just below the tummy button, imagine a nose in the belly, 2 nostrils just below the tummy button. So you're no longer breathing in and out through the nose in your face. You're breathing straight into the core. Breathing in, filling up the belly. Breathing out, letting the belly empty. You can stand like this anywhere. You don't need to do it for a long time, just 2 or 3 breaths. At the end of each breath in, notice the stillness before you breathe out. At the end of each breath out, notice that moment of stillness before you breathe in. Now, from this beautiful space, let your hands float up. And imagine that between your hands you're holding a balloon, a fairy liquid bubble, something very light, yet still tangible. Your fingers are curled around the surface of that ball, thumbs gently curled around. use your mind to make that ball as real as possible. Squeeze it. Imagine it resisting you and pushing back against your hands. Maybe your mind's eye would like to give it a colour. If you slide your hands over it, imagine a texture. If you're imagining a balloon, it might be a little sticky, rubbery. If it's a fairy liquid bubble, quite slippery. And fill that ball with helium. Give it a buoyancy. Give it the ability to support your hands. The ball supporting your hands, your elbows just hanging. Check the shoulders haven't crept up to your ears. They don't need to do anything. The ball is supporting the weight of your arms. All the time you feel the support through the soles of your feet. The earth giving you confidence, stability. All the time you feel the support coming down from the sky, that puppet string drawing you up, taking the workload off your weight-bearing joints, taking the weight of your head off your shoulders. Your eyes just softly aware of a distant horizon. Not trying to see what's on the horizon, but just aware of it, that line between sky and earth. Now, from this position, we're going to practice a movement that is simply called raising one hand. So slide your hands round the ball. So one hand is on top and one hand is on underneath. That's good. Now the ball is going to stay floating, well trained, in front of us. The lower hand lets go of the ball, fingers point forwards, palm faces down. The upper hand lets go of the ball, fingers face backwards, palm faces up. Now from this position, imagine you've got a tray resting on that upturned hand. And on that tray, something really precious, fragile. Great Aunt Ada's cut glass champagne flutes, filled with that real special vintage champagne. And then, how far can you lift that tray of precious, fragile objects? The minute your hand, your shoulder says, I can go no further, it might be your physical body, it might be your mind simply saying, I'm going to drop it. Then that lower hand pushes down and connects with a huge rock coming out of the earth, giving you support, confidence to hold up that precious object. And then let the image disappear. Your hands turn round, reconnect with that ball floating in front of you. The lower hand slides round on top, the upper hand slides round underneath. A little wriggle of the shoulders. Make sure you're not taking any tension through to the next stage of the movement. We're going to do exactly the same but with the other hands. So that lower hand lets go of the ball, palm down, fingers forwards. That upper hand lets go of the ball, palm up, fingers back. And just pause long enough to let your mind create that tray, that precious object. Doesn't have to be champagne flutes, can be anything fragile, precious. Preferably not too heavy. This isn't about strength. This is about poise and balance and lifting that precious object. And when you need help, when you begin to get the wobbles, that lower hand connects with that rock to to your side and gives you the confidence to hold up that precious object just a little bit longer, a millimetre higher, and then let the image disappear. The hands come back to connect with the ball. Little wriggle. Let the upper hand slide round, the lower hand slide up. In between each movement, just reconnect with your roots, with the soles of your feet, that support the earth is giving. Reconnect with that puppet string, lightening your body. Breathing in and out through the nose and the belly. Replacing energy you've used up, letting go of waste you've created or released. We'll do one more to each side. Lower hand lets go of its ball, palm down, fingers forwards. Upper hand lets go of its ball, palm up, fingers back. Let that image, your mind creates that tray, that precious object resting on the tray, lifting, 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 and when you need support, it's there. The earth is always there. That rock coming up to greet your hand gives you the confidence to hold up that precious object. Let the image disappear. Palms turn to face each other. Reconnect with the ball of chi floating in front of you. Lower hand slides round, upper hand slides down. Little wriggle, release any tension that's built up in the neck. Pause long enough to reconnect with the earth and the sky. Recharge by breathing in, release by breathing out. Lower hand lets go of the ball, palm down, fingers forwards. Upper hand lets go of the ball, palm up, fingers back. A moment or two to create that precious object sitting on that tray, on that upturned hand, and then lifting, lifting, lifting up that precious object. And when you need help, that rock beneath your lower hand is there to give you the confidence to hold up that precious object. And then let the image disappear. Palms turn round, reconnect with the ball, and this time just slide your hands to either side. Little wriggle. Make sure your shoulders haven't crept up towards your ears. Make sure your ears haven't crept down towards your shoulders. Soft breathing in the belly. Recharging as you breathe in, releasing as you breathe out. And to finish, just slide your hands on top of that ball. No need to push. The relaxed weight of your arms, gravity, will take your hands and the ball of chi down. And just let your arms hang. That's all. To finish any series of exercises, just a little ritual. Just shift your weight to one side. Lift each foot. Imagine you're just very gently pulling your roots out of the earth. A little shake, getting ready to be repotted. To be in a different space. You might not change rooms, you might not change your physical space, but you've been listening, you've been sharing space with me. So that's one very simple Qigong movement. We rehearsed and repeated Simple Standing, which you'll find on another one of these presentations. And that movement, its full translation is raising one hand strengthens stomach and spleen. It's about connecting with the earth energy in our body. Stomach and spleen is about receiving energy from the earth, making it into a fit state for us to use it within our body. So it's good for digestion. If you have eaten a rich meal and you get home, practice this movement. Anyway, until another presentation appears, Bye-bye.